You joined me here today at the 2022 Washington Automotive Show. We're going to be looking at some of the coolest cars on show today. First, we're going to have this, the Hyundai Nexo. This is a hydrogen fuel cell powered vehicle. Let's take a look around it. Join me at the front of the Nexo. Of course, you have these LED headlights with automatic daytime running lights and high beams. Of course, you do have a grille here, and this is a functional grille, unlike in electric vehicles. For the chemical processes of a hydrogen fuel cell powered vehicle, you do need oxygen. We'll get a bit more into how that works later, but just know air does flow into here. Of course, you have optimized aerodynamics on the front of this vehicle, which you can see down here. Now you join me at the side of the Nexo. First thing I want to talk about, the mirrors. These are power folding. They are not body color. They have this kind of piano black color. Of course, this runs along the side of the vehicle, including all the way to the floating roof line back there. You do also have these really funky pop-out handles. Of course, when driving, these are going to be sucked in. And that's a common theme around the exterior of this vehicle. Aerodynamics. These wheels optimized for very few slots. Of course, weight matters. That's plastic to help reduce weight. As you move along the back side of the vehicle, you're going to see more aero optimization right here. This little channel which will allow air to easily flow through. At the back of the Nexo, of course, on the side of this vehicle, I mentioned the piano black accents of this vehicle. Of course, that does continue for a considerable amount along the roof here. Personally, not a fan of this look, but to each their own. Of course, opening the back, this is automatic opening. There's a button you can press along the bottom there. Once you're into this back storage space, nothing too special. You do have the grocery cover, which is nice to see, as well as a little bit of storage space under here. Not much, but it's an adequate amount. Of course, you're going to have about 30 cubic feet of storage space with this row up. If you put that row down, it'll give you about 57 cubic feet of storage space. Under the hood of the Nexo, you are going to find the fuel cell. Of course, this is where the reaction that we're going to get into in a little bit will be taking place. The hydrogen tanks are under the seats. But this process is going to produce about 161 horsepower. On the higher end, you're going to be getting about 380 miles of travel. On the lower end, around 350. Of course, this vehicle is actually electric. It's the hydrogen reaction that is producing the electricity to run this vehicle. Quickly explaining the fuel cell process. Of course, I am not a chemist. This is a very bare bones explanation. If any of you are chemists, please don't attack us. Of course, you're going to have a catalyst which is going to split the hydrogen atoms into your electrons and your protons. Now, your electrons are going to be what are flowing to power the electricity and power this vehicle. Let's talk about the interior of the Nexo. And before we get into this central console, I want to talk about the seats. These are vinyl seats, which you can feel they are a bit more stiff than your traditional leather. And normally this isn't a problem for me. However, this vehicle is starting just under $60,000. If you're going to be having vinyl seats, that's a bit of a no. Of course, let's talk about this center console area. This area can be a bit much. It's a very flat layout, buttons all over the place, but it's still not bad. Of course, you do have your amenities. In here, you have one USB-A outlet, as well as another one down here, and your wireless charger down here. Of course, you have other amenities, cup holders with the very mechanical nubs. Love to see it. Overall, this is a solid area. Not a fan of the color scheme, but it gets the job done. If you're liking the video, be sure to like and subscribe for weekly automotive content, as well as some special content surrounding the Washington Car Show. Now let's get back into it. Now let's talk about the infotainment system here on the Nexo. Of course, we can't access all the features at the auto show. Of course, the vehicles are turned off, so we can only access the bare bones stuff. But this system is pretty snappy. You can see you have some things that are very useful. The navigation menu would be one. This does have Blue Link, which is Hyundai's system. It is 3 years free with the purchase of this vehicle. That is going to give you some very useful features like navigation to a hydrogen cell charging station. Very important. This does also have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and I'd have to say I'm a big fan of this system. It is snappy. In the setup system especially, it's Blue Link, my bad. In setup, okay, that is one complaint I have just noticed. It is page-based, and if you don't go all the way, it'll sometimes lock. Of course, you do have your setup here. This is very snappy. I like how it looks like it's on almost a wheel. As you can see, it kind of scales up the display and has it arching back. Like that display. Overall, pretty good system. Join me in the back of the Nexo, and one thing I have to mention is those have pretty good head space. Of course, I think you could kind of comfortably fit 3 people back here, maybe not someone super big in the middle, as you do have the hump down here. You do have a full outlet back here, very nice to see, as well as vents, must have at this price point. Once again, my only complaint is going to be the seats. Of course, the vinyl seats at this price point, bit of a disappointment. These cup holders are really small and they don't have nubs. This could maybe hold a plastic water bottle, maybe a small fountain drink, that's about it. Now let's talk about some of these safety features here on the Nexo. Of course, you do have your basic systems, forward collision warning, pedestrian detection, and blind spot monitoring. Very nice to see those on this vehicle. And this does also have bare bones self-driving features. So lane centering and following will keep you centered in your lane and monitor the cars in front of you when using cruise control to make sure you don't creep up too close to someone. Very nice to see. So what do we think about the Nexo? It's not really good. Of course, many of you probably haven't seen one of these before, and that's because there is only one state you can actually purchase one of these in, being California, because that's the only state with the hydrogen fuel cell capabilities that you would need to own one of these vehicles. The other major issue is the price point. $60,000 is a lot for a vehicle of this size. And it really doesn't deliver. It doesn't have super nice amenities. The leather seats aren't there. And it's small. Of course, there's other vehicles. The Hyundai Ioniq, for example, is going to be a similar size electric vehicle for cheaper. I would much rather suggest one of those over this. If you like this video and videos like it, be sure to like and subscribe for weekly automotive content, and we'll see you next time.